Now, inductions are the ugly stepsister of birth, and I see so many people spreading misinformation and honestly just lies about them. So today I'm going to clear up 4 myths about induction. I'm excited that you're here because it's really important to understand them going into your upcoming hospital birth. Now, it is super important to learn about inductions from someone who is an expert in them. As someone who has started and helped with thousands of inductions, as well as having an induction of my own, I'm what they would call an expert on this one. So make sure that you're watching who you get your information about inductions from. I see so many people who only do home births talking about induction online, and it's just fear-mongering, and that's not helping anybody because they literally have no idea what they're talking about, and it is so annoying to me. Okay, let's talk about these myths about induction. First off, the number one, I hear it all the time, they hurt like crazy. They hurt way more. Now, I post about inductions a lot on social media, especially on my Facebook page, and I gotta tell you, reviews are mixed about inductions. Some people say they hurt more, some people say they hurt less, and it's really hard to get a solid answer on this one, so of course, I turned to a study. The ARRIVE trial, although wildly controversial in labor and delivery, actually studied how people experienced pain in both an induction and regular labor, and they were pretty comparable. In fact, the induction came out as less painful than regular labor. Again, I think pain is something that's really difficult to study, but this one gave us that information. While so many people are out there saying induction is so much more painful, it really depends on you and how you experience them. So don't go in thinking it's going to be so painful. Now, what I am here to tell you is that inductions can break you down. Sometimes they're longer than you expected. Sometimes there's more choices. Sometimes it's just more medical than you were really prepared for. So grab my induction questionnaire. It's a list of things you can go over with your provider about what to expect about your upcoming induction. I'm going to put the link down below. It's super helpful. People love that thing. And it's totally free. Okay, the next myth that I absolutely want to break is that inductions are super risky. Now, I am here to tell you that inductions, including Pitocin, Foley bulb, all of the ways of induction do have increased risks with them. And we mitigate these risks by making sure baby's on the monitor. And a lot of times you need to have an IV in order to be induced because of the increased risk. But I am here to tell you that plenty of people have successful inductions. In fact, if we found the majority of people who had inductions were getting C-sections, we would change how we are doing them. Although I constantly hear online, if you get induced, you're just opting to have a C-section. And I'm here to tell you that is not true at all. As someone who has seen thousands of inductions. Now, does it increase your risk of a C-section? It possibly can, but you have to remember that people who are getting induced tend to have more problems in their pregnancy in general, which may necessitate having a C-section. So it's really difficult to study these things. I am here to say that if you are getting induced, you do have a little bit higher risk of having a C-section, but there are plenty of people who have very successful inductions. Now, fun fact, did you know that you can prep your cervix in advance? I have a whole video on that. It is by proven ways that help make your cervix softer. Some people call it cervical ripening. I'm going to put the link down below. You guys should check it out. And honestly, I think everybody should be doing that because you might end up having an induction or you might just go into regular labor and this might make it a little bit easier. And I'm here for the easy button, guys. Okay, this is something that I see in my comments constantly, and it is people saying, I was forced to be induced. First off, I have never seen a provider come carrying a patient into labor and delivery, forcing them to be induced. It has never happened over 20 years. I've never heard another nurse saying the doctor pinned the patient down and induced them. But I know a lot of people end up feeling like they were forced to be induced, even though that wasn't something they wanted to have happen. The most important thing here is to start making choices for yourself early in pregnancy. Should you be taking a prenatal vitamin? You make that choice, not your provider. Should you be getting the ultrasound? Of course you want to have the ultrasound because you want to see that beautiful baby, but you are making the choice to have the ultrasound. You're not being forced into having the ultrasound. Now, I have a whole video about making choices during labor and delivery. I'm going to put that link down below, but I think learning to make choices for yourself early in pregnancy when things are not going awry is so important, and I think it's a skill that everyone needs to learn. Okay, the next myth is that they ruin birth. And again, I see this all the time online, that inductions are ruining birth across the United States. And I am here to tell you that inductions save lives. They save babies' lives and they save moms' lives. Can inductions be used in a wrong way? Absolutely. There's a lot of things on this earth that can be used in a wrong way, including a car. But I want to tell you that this myth ruins births. So you got to stop believing it. So many people end up having magical births even though they end up getting induced. And I gotta say that I ended up getting induced on my last baby, and this myth almost ruined my induction. I'm actually going to share a lot of other myths that I broke with my own induction. I'm going to put the link for that up above. If it's not there yet, turn on the notification bell because that video is upcoming and you'll be notified when it pops up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video where we talked about 4 myths about induction. Those myths are that they're extremely painful, that they're super, super risky, that people are forced into having inductions, and that they ruin birth. I'm so glad you're here on The Pregnancy Nurse.